Casino here in Davenport, right in front of the Elite Sportsbook and Draft Day Lounge. We've got all kinds of things going on. How's your Facebook coming up there, T-Roy?
I don't know. Someone's saying to get me a Snickers. I must not be myself.
It's rolling, yeah. You must have yourself. Are we up and running on the Facebook Live, buddy?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, like we said earlier,
I told you all.
last night, the Oakland Raiders beat the Chargers 26-24 in the last game outside of if they host a playoff game. The last game for Oakland at night this season, and for their career, they're moving to Las Vegas. Phillip Rivers, 17-31, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns. David Carr, 21-31, 218 yards, 1 TD as well. We've got, if you guys out there, I know I posted it. Yeah, I don't know if I posted it yesterday. I will post it. Our DraftKings, our league, we're getting up to 20 people to be in our league this coming Sunday. It's a $5 buy-in. So DraftKings, you could check it out. And we're going to be talking to a representative of DraftKings here soon, next week. So he's going to talk us through some of the things we got going on. Some big games in the NCAA coming up. Penn State at Minnesota, number 5 versus number 13. LSU versus Alabama, number 1 versus number 2. Iowa at Wisconsin, 18-16. Iowa State will be heading down to Oklahoma.
Did you do a print-off of the selections?
The pick 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
God, look at you.
Look at me. I did that. All right.
You did all this morning all by yourself?
I did. As I was running around.
You're the hardest working guy of the show. I'm telling you right now. There's no doubt about it.
I'm making a mess over here. Here you go. Here's our pick 6 right there. That's for you.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Lucky me. I hope you can hear me out there, Quad City Lane.
Yeah, they'll let us know.
I'm trying to get a Snickers.
They'll let us know.
But they won't let me have one.
All right. Little thing about this LSU-Alabama game, all right?
Yeah? Talk to me, guys.
It's considered the game of the century, but they've already had the game of the century between LSU and Alabama. They had it on November 5th, 2011. Number 1 and number 2 LSU, at number 1 LSU and number 2 Alabama met in Tuscaloosa.
Game of the century. Huh?
It was. The Tigers won 9-6 in overtime.
Sounds like a heck of a game.
In that game, 49 future NFLers participated in that game.
In 2010?
In 2011.
In 2011. Let's see.
2 months later, Alabama beat LSU 21-0 in the BCS National Championship game in a controversial rematch that led to the demise of the BCS and the birth of the college football playoff.
Or aren't we lucky?
Yeah. So the very thing that helped create the college football playoff system, a system where humans, not computers, rank the nation's best team, has LSU and Alabama at number 2 and number 3 respectively in the playoff rankings. All right.
You're a human, Jay.
Yeah. The thing is this is what where if Alabama loses, it's almost a certainty that they will miss the playoffs for the first time since its inception in 2014. LSU wins, they're in the driver's seat. The spread is Alabama -6. The over-under is 63. The money line is LSU plus 185. What does that mean? That means if you bet $100, you win 185. The money line for Alabama is -220. That means if you bet 220 and Alabama wins straight up, don't worry about the 6-point difference. You win $100. Questions for Alabama is Tua going to play? He's got a bum ankle. It's a game-time decision. Quote Nick Saban. We'll continue to monitor him and see how.
You said he had a bum uncle for a second.
We'll continue to monitor him and see how he progresses, but we're pleased with where he is. That's what Coach Nick Saban told ESPN yesterday. The Tide, the Alabama Crimson Tide, have won 31 straight home games. They've lost just 4 regular season home games since 2008 to a record of 78-4 in that span. Joe Burrow, quarterback for LSU, a different type of LSU. This isn't your Leonard Fournette first type of offense. Joe Burrow has completed 78.8% of his passes this season, which would be the best single-season completion percentage of all time if he continues at that clip.
Does that win him the Heisman, Bird?
That's why he is the front runner for the Heisman. Yes. And now,
right.
And then Ohio State's defensive end just got suspended
for what?
An infraction in 2018 that they haven't released yet. And if they have, I could try and pull it up. But that was they announced it this morning. So he was the guy that yesterday Rosso was saying that maybe he would be up for the Heisman, but now not anymore. Joe is looking even better than before. Last night in the NBA action. see here. The Celtics beat the Hornets 108-87. The Celtics are now 6-1 on the year. When they've had this good of a start, they've either been in the NBA Finals or the Eastern Conference semifinals.
Yeah, they had Larry Bird back then.
Oh, no, they had not in 2008, not in the other ones.
All right, well, they had the three amigos back then.
All right. Miami Heat beat the Suns 124-108. The Los Angeles Clippers with Kawhi Leonard, who scored 27 points with a bum knee.
Bum uncle?
Remember, he had to sit out the night before because
so Kawhi Leonard has a bum quad, now he has a bum knee?
I don't know, bum quad or
Maybe
whatever.
He's just a bum.
No.
I think he's just a bum, Jay. I'm going to say he's a bum.
He had 107. The Clippers scored 107.
I like Kawhi Leonard.
I like Kawhi Leonard.
I'm just so pissed off at this whole situation, man. Just such garbage.
And the Spurs won at home against the Thunder. Like I said, 11 games on NBA tonight. Some milestones. LeBron James now has 1,948 steals, moving him past Kobe Bryant for 15th place all time. He needs 10 more to move into 14th. And J.J. Redick.
Who has the most all time?
The glove? I don't know. I don't know. I talked about the different NFL players in the LSU Alabama game. Okay?
All right.
Little something about. I want to talk to you about. I'll give you a little trivia here.
All right.
Soon as I find my magical.
As soon as you find your magical note.
It's right there. All right. Alabama junior wideouts Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs III are tied for second in program history with 22 career receiving touchdowns.
Are these current guys?
These guys are current. They're juniors.
No, this is a 2011 game.
No. I'm not mentioning it's got nothing to do with the 2011 game.
I want to
The
go
49?
I want to go through the 49, see if we can name them.
We can come back to that.
And see if we can figure out what teams they went to in the NFL. How about that?
I can pull up their rosters after the next break. But before then, Alabama junior wideouts Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs III are tied for second in program history with 22 career receiving touchdowns. Who is number one on the list?
In Alabama?
Yeah.
In career receiving touchdowns?
That's right.
I believe it's Calvin Ridley.
It is not.
Is it Julio Jones?
It is not.
Alabama history for receiving. Oh, is it O.J. Howard?
No.
Well, I don't like your game. I don't like your game then. Oh, is it Amari Cooper?
It is. Yes, it is. And then before we get into
Jay, give me a hint.
Before we get into Pick Six and DraftKings, Tiger Woods.
Yes.
The U.S. team.
Yes.
The President's Cup.
Yes.
Coming up next month.
He's a captain.
At Royal Melbourne in Australia. What is the President's Cup?
Well, it's like
It's not nearly as exciting as the Ryder's Cup.
It's the other one, but it's still exciting.
All right.
It's us against the world, Jay. We're America. We're number one. Duh.
Okay.
How many times I gotta say it on
Tiger
the show?
Woods is the captain.
Down with communism. Do I have to be Rocky? Do I have to defeat communism in the 2019s just like Rocky did in the 80s, Jay? Is it on my shoulders?
They're going to compete. It's a 12-man team. They're going to play golf against the international team next month.
All
the
right.
8 automatic bids for the United States were Dustin Johnston,
Yep.
Justin Thomas,
Done.
Brooks Koepka,
Boom.
Matt Kuchar,
Gooch.
Xander
Scheifele.
Scheifele,
Yes.
Webb Simpson,
Webb.
Patrick Cantlay,
Oh, yeah.
and then the 4 wild cards.
Lay it on me.
The captain picked himself,
You're damn right he did.
Tony Finau,
Oh, Tony's awesome.
Gary Woodland,
Oh, Gary's solid.
and Patrick Reed.
Patrick's such a jerk.
They may not like him, but he's a competitor.
He can swing, dude. You know she's not in that? Jordan Spieth.
No. All right, and the automatic bids for the international team: Hideki Matsuyama,
Hideki's good.
Adam Scott,
Adam's good.
Louis Oosthuizen,
Louis Oosthuizen, Jay.
Yeah.
Get it right, man.
Mark.
That's Amy's favorite golfer of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Mark Leishman,
Yeah.
Abraham Answer,
Answer's not bad.
Hao Tong Lee from China,
Yeah.
Cam Smith,
Okay.
CT Pan, and the wild cards,
Okay.
captained by Ernie Els, who didn't pick himself.
The big sleazy.
He did not pick himself.
All right.
Jason Day, Sung Jae Im,
Okay.
Joaquin Neiman,
Okay.
and Adam Hadwin. But they're
They didn't take Rory McIlroy anywhere?
no.
How do they not have Rory McIlroy in the international team?
I don't know. That you need to talk to Ernie Els about that. The
Ernie-
U.S. team will be an
there's Mitch.
overwhelming favorite as 11 of its 12 players are ranked in the top 16 in the world,
Dude.
while the international team's highest ranked player is number 17, Adam Scott.
How do you not pick Rory out of that?
I don't know. I really do not know.
Well, the U.S. is going to wipe those guys in the dirt, man.
I know. All right. Joining us from French Street Brewery.
Say hi,
It's been
Mitch.
a long time.
What's going on, guys? Long time no see.
Mitch,
Yeah, dude.
so
How's
good to see
everybody
you.
been?
I mean, of course we miss Adam, but we're excited to see you.
We don't really miss Adam, trust me.
Hey, he's on vacation.
Is he?
fine.
He's not
Don't
listening
hear this.
anyway.
He
Yeah.
doesn't listen to the show when he's on vacation?
You know, with the
Oh,
wife
what a
and kid,
jerk.
probably not.
Probably not.
He'll catch up when he gets back, I'm sure.
All right, so Mitch, it's been so long.
I know, dude. I'm sorry about your
You're missing, you're missing something. Yeah.
What about my
Well, you missed
I'm all right.
you missed the fleeting where we were sweet on him.
I know, and I come in here when you're souring up.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think they might be a touch bit fraudulent. I don't know.
You were saying that, man.
I know.
I had to hop on and say something. Usually, you know,
I know.
I let you go, but I got to put my foot down somewhere, you know.
So
These Colts are all right.
I love Marlon
believe
Mack. I'm telling you right now, I was the one last year yelling at your coach I got fired. Like, how can you not use this guy? Hey, Marlon Mack's great. But right now you're hurt, too. So it's not that you're fraudulent. You might be a little bit busted up.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of hard. Our offensive line had played every snap together this year, and Ryan Kelly went down. I think that kind of
Well, the
threw a wrench in
receiver,
things.
you lost T.Y.
Yeah, and we were playing with
But,
AARP member Brian Hoyer at
Dude,
quarterback.
Hoyer looked good,
He did
man.
look good. He did look good, but you know there were some wrenches thrown in the game plan last week, so I'll give him a pass on beating an actual fraudulent team in the Steelers.
right.
I don't think the Steelers are fraudulent. I mean, the Steelers got a great defense. I don't know, man.
we got to speak into our mics. That's for certain.
We got to get right up on them.
Yeah. All right. And we may be loud on our headphones, but it's not loud in the radio world. All right.
All right.
So this week, the Colts take on the Miami Dolphins at home. When do you leave for Indianapolis?
Sorry,
When do you leave for Indianapolis?
as soon as I'm done here, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a convenient little pit stop here, you know, right by 80. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna jet on home right after this. So
Shooting out of here, you get a. Is it a home game this week?
Yeah,
for the
they
Colts?
host
it
and
is. It is.
they-
Welcome the mighty Finns into town.
They're
So
Well, see, you'll beat them.
I think we're the highest favorites this week, according to the lines, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
Minus
No,
11
no.
last I checked.
The Saints are.
You're not.
The same. Oh yeah.
The Saints are minus 14 versus the Falcons.
You're not on our pick six this week.
Close.
You're not
It's,
on our pick six.
Neither are the Saints, though. So
I feel weird about this game because last week I took the Dolphins when they were getting 10 points. No, I'm sorry. Did I take no, I took the Redskins. So I kind of feel like I'm in on the Dolphins and the points here.
You're taking the Dolphins with the points?
Yeah.
And why did I even come out here?
No,
just
tell
get
me,
paraded
no,
by you
no,
guys,
no. Tell
huh?
me otherwise. Tell me
Dude,
otherwise.
I'm taking the Colts in
Yeah,
that.
the Dolphins are terrible, man.
The Dolphins are on a backup. They're on their third string running back, Kevin Ballage.
Coming off a game that we should have won in the last seconds at home, I'd take the Colts all day at minus 11.
You got to make some decisions here. I mean,
Yeah.
You don't have to
Vinatieri.
include him in your. I mean, he tried to retire already during this year. It'll be at the end of the year.
And that's the thing. The Colts are like, no, don't do it. And now,
I don't think we're going to be kicking a bunch of field goals, though. I think we're going to be scoring touchdowns on Sunday.
Guys are going
you
two
could
for
easily
two
be
and
7-1
everything.
if it wasn't for Vinatieri.
I'll tell you what, if the Raiders had lost
Don't like
last
hearing
night
that.
because of a field goal, I'm pretty sure John Gruden would have killed that kicker.
Oh yeah.
Dude, were you reading his lips last night, by the way? Either one of you?
Yeah, they usually cut out as soon as it gets started.
What is-
They know what's coming.
He was
All right.
losing it.
So, Oakland, the Oakland Raiders are the flavor of the week. So I watched the
Are
game
they?
a little bit. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm sweet on them. So the thing is this. But here's what I don't like
They
about
have
it.
a good running back.
Here's what I do like their running back a lot.
Really good running back.
Here's what I don't like about the Raiders. It just seemed like,
David Carr?
no, I like his passion too. He was getting emotional afterwards.
Did he cry like a baby?
I don't know what's going on with the Chargers. They fired their offensive coordinator a week ago, but it seemed like in the fourth quarter, and I don't blame them, their offensive game plan was to chuck the ball as far as it could down the field because the Raiders are going to probably get a pass interference or some type of flag, and it normally happened. It did.
Well, that was the problem with the final drive, is they could have dinked and dunked it down the field, and Rivers kept throwing bombs. It was a terrible 2-minute drill. If I think they had like a minute and 30 seconds. It was worthless.
Depending on PI calls, isn't great offense in my opinion.
No, that's just
and
dumb.
that's what it looked like they were doing.
They could have got down the field and been fine with those two backs. I'd have been running those two out of the backfield, running a little interference. On the blocking scheme, getting them underneath, just get out of bounds.
They've got two very good backs, two very good receivers, and a very good tight end, and that team still can't score points to beat the Oakland Raiders.
No, that one interception too by Rivers, the one where Hunter Henry fell down. I mean, that was the pick six. That there was the game changer. I mean, how do you know the receiver's going to fall when you throw the ball when he's on his cut? You're throwing it as he's making the cut. It's already out of your hand. Hats off to the Raiders. They won the ball game, and they did what they had to do despite a kicker missing a PAT. Oh yeah, the flavor of the week, Jay. I don't know about that, but they won a game at home. They won their last home game, and now they are 5-4.
Their last night home game. Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah. So Mitch, what do you have for us? Because that's what I'm excited about. Not that I'm not excited to see you, but second thing.
Oh, this is what
Friday.
I'm
That
talking
means
about.
Front Street Brewery is going to bring us some things.
So I got our new IPA called Desperado.
Oh,
IPA.
yeah. Desperado.
Exactly. That has been sung quite a bit around the tap room recently. Because
What? Yeah.
So for all of our Rage drinkers, this one's got a nice malty backbone, just like Rage, but features some more citrusy new hops. So yeah, it's got a really nice kind of tropical punch up front, and then a nice solid malt background.
So glad I had a banana for breakfast, so that I have something in my belly to soak up this booze, Jay.
Yeah, I didn't
eat
get
breakfast.
No, I didn't get anything. I was
It's the most important meal of the day,
too
man.
busy doing this
Actually,
stuff.
that's a farce.
It's a farce.
Yeah.
Now I have to try.
That's just a study done by Kellogg's to make you buy cereal.
Oh. Gotcha.
Things you find out, Jay, when you read a little bit further. But my wife sent me a text today to look up an article by the New York Times, and
About what?
about children and pre-K kids and their screen time, on how it works with the brain development. And I text her back. I said, I don't read anything from the New York Times. It's a trash rag.
Okay.
She got mad at me.
All right. Anyway.
Were they saying screen time is good for children's brain development?
No, they were saying that too much is bad, and of course it's bad.
Yeah.
But my thing to her is they recommend less than an hour a day. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that.
You know what? They also told me if I sat too close to the TV, my eyes are going to go bad. And it wasn't until I was in my... And I just need these for reading. Still have good vision. There's a lot of things they tell you.
It's all genetics, man. Listen,
Yeah.
There's a lot of times they're watching things on TV. If there's interaction and they're learning, especially like Mickey Mouse Club, you can't tell me that's bad for a kid.
Yeah, I'd rather my kid watch, Sesame Street than Sopranos. Yeah, there's two different things.
You know what I'm saying?
there.
I'm like, if your kid, yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I'm going to... I've said this before. I've shared this with other people. I'm not saying this is the way you should parent your kid. I'm not saying this is the direction they should go. My son is in second grade. He reads at a very high level. Like fourth graders right now. He's at the level of fourth graders in this month. I did not spend any extra time with him more than I did with my daughter, who's 2 years older. She's very good at reading too, but he's exceptional.
It's better.
Takes after his dad.
He,
Sorry, Ted.
at a younger age, for some reason, liked to watch TV with closed captioning on. And he is an exceptional reader now. And I'm not taking any credit for it.
Parenting
and
hack.
I'm not saying anything. For some reason, he really enjoyed it, and I never...
Well, we're going to try it at my house. My daughter's going to be like, Daddy, get that off the TV. I guarantee it, but we're going to try it, Jay.
I'm just saying to go out there and maybe do it. It's not, probably not the best. I shouldn't go out there and say, like, yeah, my kid watched too much TV or whatever else, but he's and it has to be to that. Honestly, it has to be. I mean, we did not do anything different with him and Sophia.
Yeah. Did you have parent-teacher meetings lately? You did, didn't you?
Yeah, we had 'em.
I just had mine today.
And how'd it go?
She's very good with scissors.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
She's hitting all of her levels. She just turned 4. She's doing stuff 5-year-olds can do. I don't know.
All right. So tell us,
I think she can fly too. I'm pretty sure she can fly.
Mitch, tell us about Front Street.
Absolutely. We're getting pretty close to the restaurant finally opening. I know
I announced it on my first ad.
See, that's how you know it's getting close.
When you get saying it's coming really soon.
Yeah, yep. You've probably been hearing a couple weeks for a long time, but I can truly say we are a couple weeks away. Looking inside, flooring's done, all the kind of little finishing touches like furniture and.
Is Tim a nervous wreck? How's he doing?
I'd let you ask him. He seems to be calm, cool, and collected on the outside.
Yeah.
So,
all right, that's good.
Yeah,
I always worry about him. I haven't seen him in a while.
Well, yeah, we'll go on down when the restaurant opens and say hi.
Oh, I'm definitely going to go down, man.
Away,
Food down there is phenomenal. That was the one thing I miss about our Friday visits. Is you guys used to bring really good food. Man.
Yeah.
Just telling Jay the other day, people used to bring us food all the time. No.
I'll tell you what, that'd be a nice little welcome back party.
That will be.
When the restaurant finally gets cooking, we'll bring
we definitely need to get
here.
some live remotes going down there too. So
yeah,
Jay's really good at it.
But what?
Live remotes,
getting this set up.
Yeah,
man. Look at him.
I don't do anything. I know how to run this damn thing. That's about it.
Well, you're the face that runs the place, right?
Well, I just because I walk in.
Roll.
I just walk in and point fingers.
Let's take a break. Come back, and Mitch will do the pick six with us. Is that cool with you, Mitch?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Attention pizza lovers, you know what I'm going to say. That's right, Van's Pizza and More is now open by the Plex at the corners of Middle and Foursquare Roads. They have that outstanding daily specials with the Van's Pizza you love. It's Friday, and that means Friday and Saturday the family deal is rocking and rolling. $29.99 for 2 appetizers, any large pizza, no half and halves, and 2 1-liters a pop. That's right, $29.99 for all that. All you got to do is call Van's at 563-232-1396, and Van's Pizza tomorrow will have that pizza hot and ready for pickup, or you can have it delivered if you live in Bettendorf. Delivery area is limited, so please make sure you ask when you call. That's Van's Pizza and More, 5023 Competition Drive in Bettendorf.
This is Ella Schmidt, 106-pounder for Bettendorf, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM. Score a touchdown on your next new or used purchase at Sexton Ford.
A huge selection of new Ford cars and trucks.
You'll feel like you've entered the big game each and every time. You'll be treated like a pro player, from sales to service, auto body to parts. Sexton also has a strong bench of mildly used vehicles, too. Why wait? The game's on at Sexton Ford in Moline.
Oh, yeah! Sexton Ford is the talk of the town.
From local to global, ESPN 1170 has you covered. Your Quad City Sports Show is here for you. Don't hassle us. We're local with your favorite foursome. T-Roy, Jay-Bird, Surge, and you. Weekdays noon to 2 on the Quad City Sports Leader. ESPN 1170 AM wants you to be an insider. Get access to great contests at ESPN1170am.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities gets engaged. From the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM. Comfort and joy. Things we take for granted. The youth at Arrowhead Ranch have not experienced the comfort or joy we understand. With the guidance and support of Arrowhead's compassionate team, there is a comfort level the youth develop that empowers them to do their best and try new things. The result? A sense of joy and accomplishment and the courage to grow into an amazing person. This season, consider supporting Arrowhead's mission and help our local youth find comfort and joy during the holiday season. All donations are tax deductible. Visit arrowheadyouth.org. If you're running a business, how much should you invest in retaining your employees? First Midwest Bank has ideas. In today's tight labor market, keeping your employees is more important than ever. A First Midwest banker can help you determine what type of 401k plan to offer. At First Midwest Bank, they're not just bankers, but expert financial advisors. Talk to one today or visit wehaveideas.firstmidwest.com. ESPN 1170 AM is the Quad City Sports Leader and your home of the local sports show. Don't hassle us, we're local. Listen for a chance to win everything from tickets to free food every time you win and pick up your prize at the ESPN 1170 AM Pepsi ticket window. We'll give you a free Pepsi for the road as well. It's like winning twice. Get more chances to win by downloading the ESPN 1170 AM app or by going to ESPN1170am.com. Sensitivity, understanding, and a tradition of kindness and caring. It's so important when a family loses a loved one. Call on us, Wheeland Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, for all your service needs. You have our single-minded attention to every detail. With a range of choices and services available, our professionalism, and our deepest sympathy. Wheeland Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, Rock Island, Milan, Reynolds, and the Knox Chapel.
Hey, you guys are rejoining right now. I'll count you down in about 5 seconds.
ESPN 1170 AM.
5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, we are back in the Hassel. I keep saying Hassel Castle, but we're live on remote. What's wrong with me? Live on remote. Yeah, the remote Hassel Castle. We're down at the Rhythm City Casino here in Davenport, right in front of the Draft Day Sports Lounge and the Elite Sportsbook. And we are been talking to Mitch from Front Street Brewery, enjoying Desperado IPA, and we're going to go into it in a second, and we're going to look at our NCAA and our NFL Pick 6. And so, all right, we're going to do the Pick 6 to your right. Is your headphones working or not? Great. Awesome. So, all right, we'll figure something out here, Mitch. Sorry. Okay. So, NCAA Pick 6. You got the sheet. You got the sheet in front of you?
I do.
Everyone's got their sheets. All right.
Locked and loaded.
NCAA Pick 6 version. All right. First one is Purdue at Northwestern. This is I had to add something from the Big Ten, and I figured this would be it.
Why?
Well, because there was no Nebraska. Minnesota's already at Penn State. Already playing Penn State.
Out of all the games on the slate this weekend,
I mean, you got a lot of good games. This is the garbage game.
I've got a lot. I picked the other ones. I picked just fine. There's not as many good games as you think there are in college football outside of what we're.
I don't know.
LSU and Alabama are far overshadowing everything, and Iowa and Wisconsin
Who needs a
are on the
Snickers
list.
now?
I'm not. I'm just saying it's like, all right. I didn't know like Texas versus somebody. We at least know a little bit about Purdue and Northwestern. So anyway, Purdue at Northwestern. Northwestern -2. You're forced to pick one. Which way are you going?
Purdue.
I'd go Northwestern -2. Purdue just put a bunch of guys on scholarship, effectively ending their, redshirted them, effectively ending their season. And I'm an IU grad, so just by nature.
Well,
Let's go Northwestern.
I like what Mitch just said. I'm going Northwestern, giving up the points. Home favorite. Okay, big one. Big one for the Minnesota Gophers. They host the number 5 Penn State Nittany Lions. Penn State is road favorite. Penn State's -7. It's at the number 13 team in the country, Minnesota Gophers. Penn State -7 at Minnesota Gophers. What are we looking at?
All right, listen, we know both teams are talented. We haven't seen the Gophers yet. I think that they're undefeated, but I don't know who they've played. Going off what I saw when we played Penn State, they're good defensively. They've got enough offense to fight a tough defense. I'm going to take Minnesota plus the points because I think 7's a lot at home.
Mitch?
But I would,
7 might be a lot to give up at home, but like you said to start, I don't look at Minnesota's record this year and see anything that jumps out at me. I don't see any big wins or statement wins or anything like that. So I'm going to take what I know, and I'm going to take Penn State -7. I know that they're a good team, and like you said, up front defensively, what they did to the Hawks, I like the Nittany Lions -7.
This would be a big, huge win for Minnesota if this happens. I know Vasco picked Minnesota to win this. You know what? I'll take the points. I'll take the 7. So I'll take the home dog. I'm going to take the points. All right. For our Illinois fans.
Huggy Bear.
You saying we have just one?
I just think it's Huggy. No, there's a few Huggies friends that listen to the show because they always let him know when I'm giving him a hard time. So
Illinois
Scudder
at Michigan State. Michigan State -14.5. Illinois is trending in the right direction.
All right, Illinois has been playing really good football lately. 14.5 is way too many points. to give up right now. I don't think Michigan State is that good. I'm going to take the Fighting Illini plus 14.5 and picking them for the outright win.
Ooh. And had to add a little bit of pepper
Ooh,
on
I
there
like
at the end of
that.
There you go, Huggy. Say I'm always hating. Hate on that.
You're right. I mean, this Illinois football team has been playing really well lately. I'm pretty sure they're up there in the top 5 or 10 for takeaways on defense. So I don't think this Michigan State team is as good as advertised to begin the year. I'll take Illinois plus the 14.5.
There you go.
I'm taking the points as well, and I think maybe this.
Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah! I think the players of Michigan State might have quit on Dan Antonio, and I think it's going to be soon that this buyout, which they don't have to decide right on January 1st. They can do it in by June 1st, so they could get out of this contract before they have to pay him anything extra. They just started blaring some music around here.
I know. It's pretty rocking and rolling here. They like Ozzy.
All right, Iowa State at Oklahoma.
Let's see. Iowa State at Oklahoma. It's only blaring through your microphone, Jay. I wonder why. Anyway, Iowa State at Oklahoma. I'm taking Oklahoma. They're minus 14.5. They're not going to lose another game. I just can't see it happening like that.
Especially not their first game after dropping one to Kansas State. I think this is the next game after. Yeah, I said it before looking at the schedule. Nothing against Iowa State, but I think Oklahoma is going to come out angry, knowing that they probably cost themselves a chance in the college football playoff. So Oklahoma minus 14.5.
All right, sounds good. Moving on to the next game. Bird, I don't know who you took. We're going to say, Jay, who are you taking, Oklahoma or Iowa State? Hey, Jay took Oklahoma as well. All right, moving on. Jay prefaced this game as the game of the century. We already know that it's been played, but they're playing it again. Anyway,
Second game of the century.
LSU at Alabama. Alabama's favored by 6.5. We don't know if Tua is going to play, but what do you think here?
I mean, even if he does, he's got that bum ankle, and part of his game is how great he is to move around and make things happen. I don't understand LSU almost getting a touchdown. I thought this one would be closer to like 3.5. Joe Burrow's the man. It's been awesome watching him play. I like LSU plus 6.5, and just to pull a T-Roy, I like them to win outright as well.
Well, you know what? I don't know if they're going to win outright. Saban at home has only had 4 losses in his entire time there. So chances are he's not going to lose at home. That being said, this is going to be a close game. 6.5 is too many points to give up. I will take LSU plus the points. Jay Bird, who are you taking? And Jay's taking LSU as well. We're working on a technical issue, everyone, so don't worry. Jay will be back. He's not gone or anything. And Serge is here, so everybody say hi, Serge.
Yeah.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Yeah, there you go.
Addition by subtraction, the old sports adage.
Yeah. All right, we're keeping it going. We're rocking and rolling. Moving on to the final game on the docket of the Pit 6. Iowa at Wisconsin. Wisconsin favored by 8.5 here. They got one of the Heisman leaders in their house. His career right now against Iowa, I think in 2 games, 230 yards, no touchdowns. So he's ran on him, not scored necessarily. We haven't beat Wisconsin in a long time, and it's probably been a long time since we beat them up there in Madison. I don't know, guys. I'm a homer. I'll take Hawkeyes plus 8.5 because I think our defense will keep it close.
Yeah, if for nothing else, I'm a homer as well. I got to take the Hawks plus 8.5. I think it'll be a little bit closer, maybe a 1-score game. And this could be a defining moment for the Hawks season. You know, they pull this out. They're right back there in the mix for the Big Ten when everybody had seemed to kind of jump ship.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the one. So right now, Wisconsin's looking at 2 losses. Iowa wins this, wins out, and they finish with 2 losses. Then they win the Big Ten West. And then you never know. They'll obviously have to play either Penn State or Ohio State for the Eastern. But, yeah, I think they're, it's looking up. But we're going to have to get some offense, man. We have to show more than what we've shown in the last few games because, tell you what, what we've seen out of the Hawks is not going to get it done against Wisconsin. They're going to have to come out with something planned offensively, something special. Maybe we've just been doing the old rope-a-dope. I don't know. But anyway, we know the kids are working hard. I think Iowa can pull this out, you guys. 3 weeks ago, I thought we were going to get crushed. But I think we have a chance. I really do.
Too.
Yeah. What do you think, Sergi?
I think it's going to be a close game as well.
You got to get really up on the mic right now, by the way. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, pal.
I think the Hawks are going to cover, but to win this game is a different story. So, Hawkeyes plus the points.
Whoever is talking, Jay, I can hear him.
I think they said they can hear the in-studio key right now.
Yeah, whoever's in studio, tell him to turn his mic off. Yeah, who's ever in studio?
Just troubleshooting.
Your mic is messed up, man.
Okay.
Well, they said it fixed Jay's.
What's the problem with mine? Just tell me what's the problem.
Just picking up all the background music, so. All right, sorry, buddy. Everybody else's microphone is not. Yours is. I don't know why. Anywho, where are we at?
Hawkeyes. I took
finished out the
Hawkeyes
Hawks.
plus the points, but I don't think they're going to be able to win this game, unfortunately.
You gotta believe, Serge. You know, me and T-Roy are over here believing they can pull out a win.
You know what they say, Serge?
Don't bring the optimism down.
Just a small town girl
I believe in a lot of things.
living in a lonely world.
Oh, he's,
I think she
Turn
took a midnight train going anywhere.
Anyway,
he turns around to bite me in the butt anyway, so whatever.
I want to say, Serge, you're looking good today, pal.
Hey, thanks.
Doing well. We're doing
Thanks,
well.
Troy. You guys talking about sports?
No, we've been talking about kids, a little bit of sports.
So when I was in third grade, I read at a fourth grade level.
Can you hear me?
it's pretty
No,
advanced, man.
it's okay.
I don't know what it is, Jade. Yeah, somehow yours is absolute garbage right now. I'm sorry.
NFL time.
NFL time. We're going to keep going through our pick six, man.
Hey, Jay, guess who won last night? My Raiders!
What?
Oh, you weren't there yesterday. Oh, man, T-Roy. I needed you.
How was Clemson Carl?
needed you. I needed you yesterday.
What'd you need?
Clemson
Tell me.
Carl's good. They're telling me I'm a Raiders fan now.
Who did?
Jay. Mean
That's
Jay.
not what we did.
Jay and Mean Vasco.
The guy that now, less than 24 hours later, is saying that he's sweet on the Raiders.
How's
guy.
that?
Yep.
Was that? That's a wait. You can
That's what it
talk,
was.
See, he'll
Jay.
give
The
you
game,
crap until
yeah.
you realize that you're right. you know?
Well, all the way Jay taking the
Yeah.
Raiders now as his new team.
Where you at, Jay? Talk again.
I'm right there. I'm talking. This is the best troubleshooting on this radio. Is doggone it. The gain was way off on mine. You know?
I guess so,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah,
That's what it was. It was the gain on mine.
How do things
All right.
get messed around on this thing? I don't touch them.
Okay, listen to me.
I think little kids come in here and mess with our gear. The gremlins.
What we did was we proposed that if you were a Bear fan, and Serge is, and you decided to give up on the 2019 season, we offered
What you have.
Serge did not.
we offered
Giving up on the Bears.
some teams that maybe you would like
Yeah,
to
the season, yes.
maybe you would like to follow, adopt for the year, not be another fan of.
Oh,
but
they
just
had all
adopt.
these awesome suggestions of who I could follow now as my new side chick
All right,
team.
no way
How
is he
about the
taking
Colts?
the Raiders over the Cowboys.
No, we just no,
Surge.
no. We gave
I've
them
never owned a Raiders jersey before.
we offered them the 49ers instead of the Cowboys.
You didn't offer him the Cowboys?
Nah.
No, they didn't want the NFC rival. They threw the Seahawks at me.
Yeah.
You want to know what I said to that?
Yeah.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah. Serge and I can be clapping together.
Yeah. The only ones I liked, they just moved right along. I think they were just trying to piss me off.
I mean, you want to be like Nolan Rose now and be a
I think
Raider
the only
fan?
two that I liked out of all your suggestions, Jay, were Houston
Yeah.
and the Niners. And I know T-Ray wouldn't like the Niners, but those are the only two.
you know what, though?
Out of the ones you guys mentioned, those are the only two.
The only reason my heart would melt a little bit now towards the Niners, and obviously, not years past, but Kittle.
See, Raiders fans don't even want to accept me on here. Thanks, Reeves.
Where's TK at?
I did like that. They
where's
said it's
TK?
already full.
So their boat's already full.
He can
All
make
right,
some
fine.
room. Make some room. Let me roll.
I told him since day one.
Let me do some
Since day
rowing.
one, I said I don't mind the Raiders. I said I've always had a soft spot
Yeah.
for them. I like them. I've never been a Raider hater. So don't tell me your boat's full.
Love it. I love the idea of walking
No,
around.
they meant their bowl. Their snow.
You're just gonna listen.
Their
To,
bowl.
you're gonna listen to NWA all
Pot's
the time.
legal. Yeah, pot's legal.
I already do.
I know, but even more when you get to wear your because
no.
I gotta go get a
your
black
Raider
White Sox hat now.
your
Check.
your Raider hat. And listen
Bow down to
NWA.
the kings of the Raider hats. Hi, ladies. How's it going?
I'm in.
We're live.
All right, what game are you guys on, by the way?
Bills at Browns, game 1.
Oh, game one. Game one.
Hey,
Pat. Well,
and
T-Ray had a question for all you ladies out there. He said if your bank account had the
hey,
same
by the
amount
way,
of
if
money
anybody's
as
ever seen Pat Miletich out of breath, I have. It's just now.
T-Ray, for all the ladies out there, buddy,
Yeah.
if your bank account was the same as your phone number, how much money would you have? Go ahead and let T-Ray know on his DMs.
Yeah.
oh, okay. All right.
I get it.
Hey,
What's up?
I've been up for a while, buddy.
Ain't no rings on these fingers, Mookie. You've been out of town. Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm
we
in
gotta
so
go.
much
We
trouble
gotta do
tonight.
our
Oh,
pick
they
six.
offered me the Chiefs.
We gotta do. I didn't.
All right.
I did
Let's
not.
get going here.
Let's
Bill-
do our pick
Bill-
six, and then we'll take a break. All right.
All right. Bills at Browns. Browns are favored by 2.5. I don't know how or why. Browns are a colossal disaster. The Bills' defense. Listen, the Bills might be fraudulent as well. By the way, I think they might be.
What do you mean as well?
They
As
offered me
well.
the Bills.
saying
I
as
know.
well?
I don't know. I'm trying
Why
to
are you
warm up
looking
to
at
you.
me and saying as
Here,
well?
let me rub your shoulders. Here, come in. Let the big bear get his paws on you.
How many of those have you had?
Well, I had a banana for breakfast, and they bring me 7.0 beer. I mean, that's why I got a salad and chili back there waiting for me.
Oh my.
Anyway, I'm taking the Bills, Jay Bird. I'm sorry, Baker Mayfield does not impress me.
No, and they're an absolute dumpster fire, so they have a soft spot in my heart. I'll take the Browns minus 2.5. I have no reason why. They have to cover
I
it.
remember
have
who you picked, by the way. I didn't write it down.
Oh, I will remember. The Browns have to win this game.
So you're taking the Browns, Jay?
Yes,
And
I am
who'd you
taking the
take,
Browns.
brother?
I took the Browns.
All right, Sergi.
I take my Raiders.
Yes,
They're not a choice.
and they won. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll
Had
take
them
the
in a
Browns.
parlay last night. Okay, Chiefs minus 6 at the Tennessee Titans.
You took the Browns, Serge?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm on a ship on my own. No more room in my boat. All right, guys. Yeah, Chiefs at the Titans. It looks like Mahomes is going to play. Unfortunately for T-Roy in fantasy, I left that clown on the bench because you never know. Started Phillip Rivers last night.
How'd that go for you?
Yeah, everybody knows. All right, so I got the Chiefs minus 6 at the Titans. Listen, Mahomes is playing. Titans really don't look that great right now. I know Ryan Tannehill came in and kind of taken the reins there, but I really don't know what's going on with Tennessee. It's pretty sad, to be honest with you. I had a little high hopes from this year. I'll take the Chiefs and give up the points.
I'll follow that. Say Chiefs minus 6. Tennessee, I think the last 3 weeks has given up at least 20 points. That's not a good sign when you're about to face the return of Patrick Mahomes. I think Chiefs definitely cover by a touchdown at least.
All right, Jay Bird.
We haven't even looked at your power rankings. I'm going solo here. Watch your beer. Watch your beer there. I'm going solo.
You don't have to go solo, buddy.
Okay.
There you go. Here, you want me to give it to
Yeah, I want to know. So the Browns and the Bills. I'm pretty sure that should be. I should be right with the home field. That if I think about it.
Browns were a 7, the Bills were a 3, but right now the Chiefs are a 2,
Yeah.
and the Titans are a 6.
Oh crap! Let me see that. I do not like this at all. There are 2. It's 4. All right. Crud. I got to take the Chiefs in this. Then I got to follow this.
Okay.
I don't like it. I wanted to go the other way. My
Sergey?
heart's telling me the other direction.
I couldn't even hear what you guys were talking about.
Oh,
No.
sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, we don't have enough headphones for Surge. We apologize. Chiefs minus 6 at
I
Titans.
like the Chiefs.
Okay. Well, can we get a hell yeah, Jay?
Without Mahomes, I like the Chiefs.
With or without. All right, Packerland up there north to the up there in Green Bay. The Pack take on the Panthers at home. Packers minus 5.5. Coming off a loss to the Chargers.
Hey,
Listen, I don't know what I think. I think Green Bay's still a good team. This Panther team, though, is intriguing. They've been playing very well with Kyle Allen at quarterback. I think 5.5 might be too many points.
We'll take
in this.
him.
I'm gonna take the Panthers. I think the Packers win this game, but I don't think it's by more than 5.5.
Yeah, I went Packers with the points, but I'm kind of worried now. Yeah, I think they got exposed a little bit by San Diego last week, but the Panthers, I think, are just a one-trick pony with McCaffrey. I don't
think
have
so.
any
I think
faith in Allen.
I like Curtis Samuel, and I love DJ Moore. And I'm telling you, they have a good team there. Okay.
Back it up.
All right.
I have to pull back on the Chiefs, and I have to take the Titans now looking back on the power rankings.
All
right.
Take back your hell yeah, then.
Yeah, I'm taking it back. And I'm taking the Panthers. I'm taking the points.
And Jay's taking the Panthers as well. Serge?
Stupid Green Bay.
Take that, Erickson. All right. Next on the docket, the Detroit Lions travel to Chicago to take on the Bears, who apparently now have no fans because Serge got taken away from them.
I'm still a
No,
fan.
I'm saying
all
if
right.
you want to shop
Believe in
another
side
team.
chicks.
Anyway, I don't believe in side chicks. Wait a minute.
So,
I don't. Yeah, I don't either.
Made a commitment, T-Roy.
Me too. Anywho,
Unless they lose.
Lions at Bears. Bears minus 2.5.
Yeah, Bears minus 2.5 here.
Why are they favored?
Yeah, and Serge and I are on the same boat here, man. I just the Bears have shown us nothing offensively. This Lions defense isn't that bad.
Take the Bears plus 6.
I'll take the Lions.
Is that an option? Is that an option?
No, you're taking the
I'll
Lions.
take Lions.
Yep.
Prove me wrong.
Mitch?
Yeah, make it unanimous. I like the Lions as well.
Well,
According-
I like the Lions. I said I'm taking them.
yeah.
I love the Lions.
According to the rules
off.
of T-Roy's power rankings, as I do gambling,
Yeah.
you get 2.5 for a home field, not 3. And they are both in the same tier, so that negates it. Bears get 2.5 for being home field. So when it's a tie, you have to take the home team. According to the rules I've set up, I'm taking the Bears.
All right, Jay.
Jeez, rogue, man.
All right.
Vikings.
Me and Jeffrey Mossbruck are going head-to-head this week. Vikings-Cowboys. Told Moss I'm not talking to him all week.
Good choice.
He's in big trouble with me just because his team's playing mine. Cowboys minus 5.5. Dallas coming off a sloppy victory, I would say, Monday night against the Giants. I mean, yeah, it was like 37 to whatever, but they did not look sharp. They got to tighten up. Too many penalties like that. I think they can do that. I also believe that the Vikings are a sloppy team. Great running game. Adam Thielen is out, so all they have to worry about is Stephon Diggs. They have the D-backs to take care of that. I think Dallas walks away in this game by a couple touchdowns, so I'll take Dallas minus 5.5.
I like Dallas to win as well, but I think Minnesota keeps it close. This is a game that I think both teams will need as the season goes on. So I like the Vikings plus 5.5.
Sergey?
Dallas.
That's my boy.
Yeah, I think Dallas is. They're still in angry bounce back mode. So I
And
think
they're healthy. That's the thing. I mean, yeah, there was sloppy, but they're healthy.
Thielen is a big deal.
Super healthy?
Yeah,
got a knee.
Cooper's fine. Everything, they said he's going to be fine. And then I think they're getting Van Der Esch back, too, which really they didn't skip a beat because Sean Lee did a great job
Not a
on
bad backup.
Saquon. Yeah,
Not a bad back.
not a bad dude to have.
Almost as healthy as Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah. This
That's why I love him, folks.
this is too many points. I'm taking the Vikings. Road dogs.
Jeez, he's so analytical now.
I know, dude.
It's
his glasses.
Here's one for you guys.
Math support.
When did Dennis grow hair?
Well, actually.
1979.
Hey, fellas, I have a trivia question for you. Who is the top tennis player at St. Ambrose University? It's Dennis Lacarne.
It's a Monday night game. A
right.
good Monday night game.
Dude, this is going to be a great game to
Good
watch.
Thursday
man.
night game. Now we're going to have a good Monday night game.
You got my Seahawks and my 49ers.
That's right. All right.
Eric.
Be conflicted on this
Seahawks not getting a lot of love in a divisional game. Seahawks are road dogs. It is 49ers are 6-point favorites. I think that's. I don't. I'll tell you this right now. 3.
It's even better that I can't
2.5,
hear
nope.
Jay right now, so I just get to watch him think.
Yeah, no, it just barely is it. I want to take the 49ers, but I can't. By this logic, the 49ers should only be 5.5-point favorites, but we have it written down at 6. So I'm going to give up the I'm going to take the 6 points. I'm taking the Seahawks.
I'm with Jaybird, man. I think the Niners might win this game, but I think 6 is a lot. This is a scrappy Seahawks team. They haven't been beat by a lot by anybody.
Yeah, hopping on that Seahawks train. I mean, I think Russell Wilson, I don't know if he's getting enough hype for his MVP season right now. The guy's playing out of his mind. I'll take him to keep them in there, +6.
I'm with you guys as well on this one.
All right, can we get a hell yeah?
It's the Russell Wilson show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and quiet, but that's what happens on the West Coast.
Himself week in, week out, and I don't think it's going to stop now.
Okay, Mitch.
All right,
thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate it, guys.
And
Felt
you
good
have
to
a
be
safe
back.
trip to Indianapolis. When we come back from
let's go
break,
Pat Miletich.
we're going to have Pat Miletich on. Mitch, have a safe trip, man. And thank you so much for stopping in and saying hi to us. We appreciate it.
All right, everybody, remember to make all your Sundays fun days with the best Sunday fun day there is, was, and ever will be at Pints. $2.50, 20-ounce domestic drafts, $3 you call it, and all that NFL action that you can handle. And remember, Monday through Friday during happy hour, Pints offers complimentary Vans pizza. That's right, 4 large pizzas show up every day at 5 o'clock, so make sure you get on there to Pints and wash down some of that pizza from Vans with some of our cold beer. That's Pints, 5268 Utica Ridge Road in Davenport.
ESPN 1170 AM. Are you ready? Black Friday savings all month long at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport. Gavin McGrath, I know you're ready.
For everyone in the Quad Cities who's ready to trade, push, pull, or drag it in. Get more for your trade, get more savings all month long.
Black Friday is a McGrath family tradition.
Save more green, trade up now. Over 2,500 pre-owned vehicles to choose from with payments from $167 a month. Save all month on the Quad Cities' best selection of certified used trucks from $10,988. Black Friday pricing on pre-owned Silverados, Sierras, Rams, F-150s from $10,988. Now at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport.
Even if your trade has high mileage,
push, pull, or drag it in. Payments from $167 a month. Used trucks from $10,988.
What if my credit has a few dents or dings?
All credit applications accepted. Nobody works harder than our credit team to help get you approved.
The McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport, 4618 North Brady Street.
Log on, McGrathAuto.com.
ESPN 1170 AM is the Quad Cities sports leader and your home of the local sports show. Don't hassle us, we're local. Listen for a chance to win everything from tickets to free food. Every time you win and pick up your prize at the ESPN 1170 AM Pepsi ticket window, we'll give you a free Pepsi for the road as well. It's like winning twice. Get more chances to win by downloading the ESPN 1170 AM app or by going to ESPN1170am.com. Isn't technology great? Everything at your fingertips. Sometimes when you want something custom, you need to talk with an actual person. QC Press has been in the area for over 45 years. They can custom design t-shirts for your family reunion, banners for your anniversary party, or letterhead for your small business. Don't leave your special event up to some design shop on the internet. Check out QCPress.com or stop by and see them at 1325 15th Street, Moline. QC Press, 309-764-8142. What do you need printed today? From local to global, ESPN 1170 has you covered. Your Quad City sports show is here for you. Don't hassle us, we're local with your favorite foursome, T-Roy, Jaybird, Surge, and you. Weekdays noon to 2 on the Quad City sports leader. ESPN 1170 AM wants you to be an insider. Get access to great contests at ESPN1170am.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities gets engaged. For the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM. Shady Family Chiropractic is your choice for chiropractic care in the Quad Cities. Chronic problems, joint pain, or recent injury. Don't let pain slow you down. Shady Family Chiropractic in Davenport can help decrease your pain and improve range of motion, keeping your busy life moving. Same-day appointments available most days for new patients and $20 sports physicals. Call today or visit sheedychiro.com. That's SHEEDY Chiro.com.
Hey, what's up, man? You guys got about 10 seconds, and I'll count you in.
From the Shady Valley Chiropractic Studios, this is the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KVOV, Davenport.
Oh, check.
Yeah. Hey, come on. Want to see?
All right, we are back
Shoot somebody.
at Rhythm City Casino here at We're back at Room City Casino.
Are we back?
In front of yes.
All right, good.
In front of the Elite Sportsbook. In front of the Elite Sportsbook and Draft Day Lounge. Can you guys hear anything?
I don't hear shit.
Yeah, I can't either. All right. Anyway, mics are on though. All right, we'll go back to the regular way. Get Pat plugged in. I don't need to be plugged in. The most important thing is that Pat can hear.
No, don't worry about it.
Take
I
that off.
can hear you.
Okay.
Just get Pat close
The
to the mic.
one thing you're gonna have to do is stay close to the mic,
Yeah.
Pat. All right. Get everyone else plugged in.
Goddamn microphone. Are you on air right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
It's all right.
We're having
It's-
fun,
that was
Pat.
This is exactly what
Sorry
we're
about
doing.
that, folks.
We've been doing this the entire time, trying to figure out exactly what to do.
Yeah, just talk loud so I can hear you. I don't need the cans.
Yeah, there you
Serge,
go.
can you hear?
No.
Okay, well, plug him in.
I'll
right
take
in
care
there.
of it.
Hey,
Jake,
can
is that-
everybody at home hear? Can we see
Yeah.
a Facebook post that everybody at home can hear us?
Yeah, they can hear.
Check, check, 1 2 1 2.
There you go.
Oh, don't worry. Don't let me know.
Okay. So, Pat. Okay, Pat. Thank you very much for joining us today. Again, you see the craziness that we got going on here in front of the Elite Sportsbook and Draft Day Lounge, trying to get all this together. And you had the same thing going through at home. This is life, right?
The Gremlins, it doesn't matter if you have a $10 million setup or a $500 setup, $1,000 setup, you're going to run into Gremlins, right?
That's right.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So this.
We're still having as much fun as ever.
That's what you got to do. No, I've seen this stuff happen when I was at Showtime Sports, where they've got 3 $10 million trucks full of equipment, running a show and multi-million-dollar production every fight.
So doesn't work if it's not plugged in.
We had Gremlins all the time, so it is what it is.
So this past weekend, you guys were down at the River Center for Caged Aggression, and you and Jeff called the event.
Yeah.
You guys did a great job.
I appreciate it. Oh, you actually saw some of it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Of course.
I definitely saw you did some
stuff that was posted afterwards.
pre-fight videoing of setting up for the pay-per-view.
Right.
And you had Kelly's beautiful face in that.
Yep.
I
And
saw
your
you
camera
and-
didn't break.
No.
Yeah, I saw you and Jeff doing the pre-thing, standing next to each other.
Oh,
I
do
watched
the
you
open?
I
Open
watched
for
you
the
guys
show?
do the open and everything.
Okay,
else,
good, good.
Yeah. So good job on that, and then
appreciate it.
you guys made a big announcement, which is an interesting one. You made an announcement about Michael Nunn.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Nunn and I have not signed any paperwork. We're still
Yeah.
looking for a venue. I mean, the casino people that run the casino here came up as I was sitting on the couch and handed me their card, and potentially wanting to do it here. Logistically, it just comes down to who can put the most butts in the seats.
Yeah.
And handle a crowd that size. That's the main thing. We haven't, like I said, we haven't signed anything, but verbally, we've committed. So I can't go overboard on saying I know 100% it's going to happen because, God forbid, one of us is going to get hurt in training or, all kinds of stuff can happen. But it's something that I always wanted to do in terms of, I was in negotiations with Roy Jones Jr. He and I sat down many years ago. We were going to fight, and he was going to let me do MMA if I made it out of the first 5-minute round of boxing only.
Oh wow!
So that was the rules for that. But then he went and got knocked out in Australia and screwed the train up for that. And then Winky Wright and I were in negotiations, and I actually flew out to California, and they rented a big suite for us. And he and I and our group sat down together and were negotiating. And that all fell apart because one guy who basically put the two groups together, who would have gotten basically a finder's fee, a percentage out of the fight happening, got greedy all of a sudden and started throwing around he was going to sue everybody, and so that fell apart. So, in terms of putting it together with a boxing, a big name boxing guy, it's not easy.
Well, technically, it's only happened once, right? I mean,
Yeah,
McGregor
yeah.
and Mayweather.
And McGregor talked his way into that. He did a great job, and Mayweather carried him beautifully.
Yeah.
And then put him away in the 10th, I think it was.
Yeah.
But that drew a massive amount of money. I mean, McGregor made $100 million off of that alone. So
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Wouldn't you love to have one of those, huh?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm not in my prime, and neither is Michael. But we know we can still fill, a good-sized arena, especially with the undercard with a lot of young guys. Very, very, very good up-and-coming boxers and kickboxers potentially. From this region of the country, for people to be able to watch. And then, Michael and I will go knock each other around a little bit and see what happens.
Now, Pat, he's obviously got the reach, but you'll be able to kick. So you're going to go at the legs, right? I mean,
Well, I'm
not
going
to give anything away.
I'm going to go wherever I can. Head, body, legs, but his arms are probably longer than my legs, for God's sake.
Right.
So
I mean, that's what
he's
I'm
very,
saying.
very long.
He's a
And
long dude.
in his prime, man, nobody could even hit him.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest. He was the best pound for pound boxer in the world for 4 years. So
yeah. And we had, I mean, back then too, we had quite a few pound for pound great boxers coming out of here. There was him.
I know. I got beat up by all of them down at Peña's when I was training UFC stuff. I trained UFC stuff.
Who was the other? God, I'm drawing a blank. The other guy that had a title belt right around that time.
Antoine Eccles.
Yeah.
Antoine was ridiculously good. I mean, people probably don't remember Levon and Langby McGowan. David Levi back then was really good. There were just a lot of young killers. The Pansloff brothers from Bettendorf, who were also very good wrestlers, were really scary dudes. But I mean, I went down there and just donated blood for like 3 years before I started finally knocking the hell out of people. You know what I mean? I got my ass kicked. Trust me.
Wow.
So what are you guys looking at doing? Is it going to be like an event and then spread into something with other undercard events, or just you two?
Well, I mean, I'm basically this will be the big launch for a sports and entertainment group that I put together with local guys, Justin Holstein, Paul Martinez, Jeffrey Wilson, of course, myself, and Kelly Jeffries. We did our first pay-per-view last Saturday night at Caged Aggression. Now, I knew it wasn't going to sell a lot. We sold some pay-per-views, but the main thing, I mean, for God's sake, we were up against.
You were against Masvidal and Diaz. Yeah.
And also Canelo Alvarez's world title fight. And mind you, Canelo Alvarez was fighting in the MGM Grand. They piped the fight from New York into Las Vegas for them in the MGM Grand Arena. And the fight didn't happen in the MGM between Canelo and his opponent until after Masvidal and Diaz fought live on the Trinitron in the MGM.
Wow.
That's how big a fight that was to a lot of people. So we knew we were up against that stuff, but it was really a test. I mean, in 3 weeks' time, before it jumped into my brain to put this thing together, and we actually pulled it off in 3 weeks' time. It's to me, it was just to see if we could do it, number one, and everybody did great, did a beautiful job. But I lost my job, a month and a half ago, something like that, at Access TV because Anthem bought the network and just basically said, we're done. We're done with everything. And 50 people lost their jobs. And I went, well, I licked my wounds for a week or two and then went, you know what? Let's see if we can do it. And so we did it. You don't need a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar network to pull it off.
And you guys did a great job, too. I mean,
appreciate
seriously,
it.
I mean, considering the amount of time you had to get it put together, and granted, it might be a little smaller scale than whatever, but you know what?
Got to start somewhere, man.
Exactly.
Right.
And now people can say, well, where can I go for this? Who can I get to do a pay-per-view event for me?
Right.
And now it's you.
Yeah, well, obviously we want good quality. Mike Goodwin, who promotes the Caged Aggression events, he put that card together not even knowing what I had in mind because he had the card already built.
Yeah.
Right?
Mike always puts together
He's
good
going
cards.
to put
he's
together
been doing a
stellar
great
one
job.
in March.
Right.
The Friday night and Saturday night double headers. Now that he knows that we're doing, pay-per-view, he goes, and how much better talent are we going to be able to bring
help
onto
his
his
show.
shows?
Yeah.
Because now they get to be on pay-per-view. They get to advertise. They get more from sponsors, all that sort of stuff. So it's really to benefit his shows, benefit the athletes in the area who are going to be competing on them, get their names out there, get them used to being in front of cameras, get them used to talking to cameras before they move on to the next level.
No, it's perfect. I think Mike's been doing this for well over a decade.
Yeah.
And he's had growth. As he's learned more, he's done better, and puts on a great show. And for you to come in and, like I said, giving these local guys that don't get that kind of airtime, the time to let people know that they're out there and available.
Right.
This is just this is the world we live in.
Yeah.
And hats off to you guys for having the sight to see that.
Yeah. So it's it's a lot of fun. Ton of stuff going on. Launching a clothing line. Still working on that. We had problems with our manufacturer.
Fat guy sizes for me, Pat. I just need 2X. I'm losing weight.
We call that the big and strong size.
All right. Well, I'll live with that.
So yeah, we ran into problems with our manufacturer and had to switch manufacturers, so that kind of slowed us up. the manufacturer that we originally had, basically only did military stuff. So you know how that is. Military contracts, they upcharge a tad.
Oh, yeah, they do.
So trying to get them to manufacture for us at a price point that we could actually turn around and sell after that, we just couldn't get them down low enough. I mean, they make stuff for the special forces, clothing that is, it's $300 just to make the shirt. And then at $600, the military buys it for their special forces. It's like, dude, come on. We're selling the...
I need a $500 screw, too.
I want to go back to something you said earlier when you were talking about the pay-per-view and the fighters, and not only the sponsors, that's important, they get it out there, but the camera in front of them, the mic time.
Yeah.
How important is that for the UFC? MMA.
It's super, super important for them to have a polished product. You want to be... Being able to fight is one thing. Obviously, that's going to sell tickets if you can go out and smash people. But to become truly marketable, you've got to be able to, talk in front of a camera and not be nervous, and be able to hold basically an intelligent conversation. So that's what people who buy tickets can connect with.
Yeah.
Right. There has to be that connection. It can't be a guy that's just, a complete idiot talking.
Yeah. No.
Even if it's a Tank Abbott. Tank Abbott wasn't the smartest guy in the world, but he could communicate and communicate who he was to that demographic of people. So every, truck driver out there going across the road and people of that type were like, I love this guy. This guy drinks beer and beats the hell out of people, right? So you just have to appeal to a certain sector,
And like you're saying, you got to have the guy that you just don't want that. I mean, you've probably interviewed guys where you're just like, I can't believe I just gave this guy mic time. And nothing against him, but, I mean, even Cale Sanderson, when he got done winning I'll never forget this, when he got done winning his 4th NCAA title, he came off the mat, and ESPN was there, and they said, what are you going to do next? And he said, I'm going to take my brother and go fishing. And there was silence because they're talking world championships, Olympics, and the person was so thrown off because that's what he was going to do next. He was going to take some time, and he had no follow-up. There was really no personality. That's Cale then.
But here's the thing. I'm sure you've talked to Cale before. I've talked to Cale before. He's actually a really personable guy, super intelligent. But the guy doing the interviewing probably needed more preparation just to be able, because you've been around enough. All you guys have. If I ask a guy a question, I've got to be prepared to have a comeback, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, if he says, I'm going to take my brother fishing. What are you fishing for? What type of lures are you using? Are you fishing for trout, fishing for bass? Let's figure it out, bro.
As the interviewer, you have to be on your toes because you never know.
So I'd say that guy was the dumbass in the equation there, right?
Gotcha. How long did it take you to get used to the mic?
I was a kid that in high school, I did, I think it was a prerequisite back then. You had to take speech class.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I was the kid that got picked on constantly, all that sort of stuff, until I got to about 8th, 9th grade. But I was still terrified to speak in front of groups. I really, really self-conscious about it. So I would do speeches for my speech teacher alone. I wouldn't do it. I'll flag this. I'll throw it. I'll take an F any day.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to speak to an entire class. I'm just letting you know. And they're like, all right, we'll let you just do the speech for us. And I could get through that. So I was really terrified. But I got thrust into, I think it came from teaching for years. I was okay with that because it was something that I knew. And it grew from there. And then when I got thrown on Showtime Sports, when I had done really no real broadcasting before, that's a bit of a shock. You're in front of a packed arena. You got Mauro Ranallo standing next to you, screaming into the microphone, doing a live open for a show. And I was sweating. I was sweating my ass off. So I still get nervous. But I love it,
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't think there was anybody like guys. I mean, Serge, you had speech class too, I take it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I remember the first time I had speech class, folded like a cheap suit. Like it was like, and people to the day like, you did, like the dude that like loves to be talking and whatever. But
yeah.
It was the military that did it for me. It was like literally like going out, watching the drill instructor do cadence, and then I just went out and imitated him. And then I'm like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah. No, I was the exact opposite.
Yeah?
Yes. I was
terrified.
I was naturally comfortable since day one.
Yeah, no,
and it wasn't necessarily like a cockiness. I just didn't really understand that. I was just used to speaking in front of people, whether it be a team, a class,
right.
Your teachers, your coaches. I was vocal and not shy, And then it got into education with, call it like a spelling bee, or in performing arts with band and.
You were a thespian.
Kinda didn't really know it.
Were you a sports guy too, though?
Oh yeah.
You were an athlete.
I was all sports, and then like the extra.
That's an interesting mix.
Arts.
That's a pretty outgoing lifestyle.
It is, and it's always been like that, and still is for the most part. So.
That's awesome.
But
You're still on.
yeah, we're good here, buddy.
Yeah.
Good now. Well, yeah. I mean, how about you, Jane?
What?
You've always been kind of outgoing, dude.
Yeah,
I saw him. I see you. You were the class clown.
A little bit, I would say, but not. But respectful. How's that?
Okay.
And we had an umpire on who just retired on Tuesday, and a look can go a long ways, and I respect that look, and I know the line's been crossed, and you don't need to have to tell me twice. So there wasn't much of a class clown type of thing.
Okay.
When I was younger.
I mean, I just see you have a good sense of humor. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. When I was younger, I didn't have very good hearing, and hearing affects your balance.
Ah.
And before I had tubes or whatever else, my mother was worried about my balance. I was falling over all the time. Like she was worried that they were gonna, the DHS were gonna get called because I would have scars in my head because hitting coffee tables.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
And then she put me into dance classes.
Did you guys know this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so she put me into dance classes, which you kind of get you get out of it. You're like, oh, you do dance, but it was just a ballet to affect your. And you hear stories like Mean Joe Green. Remember the Pittsburgh Steelers? They'd say that those guys were all taking ballet, but then I got out of it. And then in 7th grade, I did a production on the stage. And I had to sing an Elvis Presley song, and I just bombed in front of people. And I knew right then and there I never want that feeling again.
But you had the guts to get up there and do it.
Yeah, and then after that, I was like, who cares? I mean, so now it's... And then in college, the beauty of it was, just like I think you said something about a team type of thing.
Yeah.
In college, when you had a group presentation and people had to do certain things, it was very easy for me to be like, oh, if you guys are going to do all that, I'll present it. And they would be like, what?
Right.
And I was like, oh, yeah. And so I would get out of, like, a lot of the behind-the-scenes work to just being able to present. So
Right.
Well, we have found in all of our researches.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And all you're doing is reading a PowerPoint off a screen. It was great.
Yeah. I was a talkative kid. I always got in trouble for talking in class.
Yeah.
And class clowning and being a total idiot. But, yeah, I don't know. It was just, the one speech, I think they put me in talented and gifted, which all the kids had already been there for a while. And I had to give a book report. And I remember I kind of came up with the idea. Everybody had to do like a routine to it.
Right.
And I came up with, I was going to do it as Mr. Rogers. So I got through the whole like song. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, all that. And then it got to the book report, and it was of mice and men. And I'm like, stopped. That was it. I was like, everything in my head was gone.
Wow.
And I dropped. I'm like, it was a really good book.
Let's take a break. I want to talk to Pat. I want to talk about. I mean, you've got so many like coals in the fire. It's amazing. Every time to sit down, we sit down and talk with you, we learn something new that you're doing, and then you have something coming up with Tom Arnold that you're kind of working on. I mean, that's brand new, but it's still a lot of fun to hear you talk about. Because I listened to your interview with Dwyer Michaels last week.
Okay.
So I want to talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll take a quick.
I want to
break
hear
when
about
we're
Tom Arnold. I've been wanting to talk to you about this. It was great.
With Pat Miletich.
All right, guys. If you want the latest in TV and security technology, but you're not sure where to start, call Dunright TV and Security Solutions, your Dish Premier local retailer, and get started today. They're going to take the guesswork out of choosing the latest in smart home technology with your budget in mind. Dish has been a leader in technology for years in the Hopper Smart HD DVR. Interacts with your smart speaker to change channels and pause. Fast forward with just the sound of your voice. When you sign up today, you're going to receive a Nest doorbell system free, courtesy of Dunright. Call 866-84-RIGHT today and let them provide that local professional and installation with personal service trusted by all kinds of businesses and homeowners in the Quad Cities. Restrictions apply and requires an internet-connected Hopper. That's Dunright TV and Security, 866-84-RIGHT.
This is Tyson Blake, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 1170 AM.
It's another huge week for sports teams at Augustana College. The football squad welcomes Carroll for Senior Day, Saturday the 9th at 1. Then we turn to basketball. The women host the Hyatt Place tournament Friday night and Saturday afternoon. The men's squad plays host to national champion UW Oshkosh at 7 Saturday night. Then it's games against Alma and Calvin. For game times, locations, and more information, visit augustana.edu. Augustana College, a family-friendly front row seat to big-time small college sports. ESPN 1170 AM is the Quad Cities sports leader and your home of the local sports show. Don't hassle us, we're local. Listen for a chance to win everything from tickets to free food. Every time you win and pick up your prize in the ESPN 1170 AM Pepsi ticket window, we'll give you a free Pepsi for the road as well. It's like winning twice. Get more chances to win by downloading the ESPN 1170 AM app or by going to ESPN1170am.com. When storm damage hits, All Major Restorations is your insurance claim specialist. Loose or missing shingles, tinted siding, or damaged windows. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities works with your insurance company, making the process quick and easy. The insurance company has people fighting for them. Let All Major Restorations work for you. Residential, commercial, and industrial. There's a reason they have an A-plus accredited Better Business Bureau rating. Storm damage estimates are always free. Visit amrestorations.com. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities. In business, is it better to build your way to growth or buy your way? First Midwest Bank has ideas. It's a critical decision and different for every company. A First Midwest commercial banker can help you weigh your options. Because at First Midwest, they're not just bankers, but expert financial advisors. Talk to one today or visit wehaveideas.firstmidwest.com. M&A momentum, strategic momentum, business momentum. First Midwest Bank.
Ace Muffler Clinic has been serving the Quad Cities area for over 60 years. There's a reason why our customers continue to trust us with their vehicles. We can fix almost anything. We can fix your muffler, tune your brakes, change your oil, change your tires, replace your battery, customize your exhaust, tune your engine, repair your suspension, replace your radiator and your water pump. Align your automobile, refill your transmission fluid, and change your filters. And we believe in doing all those things right the first time. For fast, friendly service, visit Ace Muffler Clinic at 4th Ave and 15th Street in Rock Island.
From local to global, ESPN 1170 has you covered. Your Quad City Sports Show is here for you. Don't hassle us, we're local with your favorite foursome, T-Roy, Jay-Bird, Surge, and you. Weekdays noon to 2 on the Quad City Sports Leader. ESPN 1170 AM wants you to be an insider. Get access to great contests at ESPN1170am.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities gets engaged. From the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM. You can get your sports fix by telling Alexa to play ESPN 1170. Enable the skill and never miss a moment. From the Quad City Sports.
Hey, you guys, gonna count you in right now. 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, we are back here at Rhythm City Casino in front of the Elite Sportsbook next to the Draft Day Lounge. You listen to Don't Hassle Us for Local here on ESPN 1170 AM. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. You can listen to us also on the app. Go to your app store, Google Play, download ESPN 1170 AM. Listen on your computer, ESPN1170am.com. And you can watch us and leave comments on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment line. With us is Pat Miletich. We just got done catching up with Pat after he just got done putting together a UFC event, MMA event here down with Kelly Jeffries, big friend of the show from Done Right Security. And
yeah, like we said, 866-84-RIGHT. Call Kelly.
We can't forget that.
Are you guys passing a jug of booze around?
Yeah.
During your show? This is awesome.
It normally doesn't look as awkward as it does right now, just because it looks like they're hiding it under the table, but not hiding it.
Jay was hiding it. I wasn't hiding it.
All right, so before we went to break, I told Pat I listened to him on Dwyer Michaels last week.
Yeah, just tea, Pat.
And, you know, as far as like Twitter goes, which by the way, for anytime that we can sit there and say that the cesspool that is Twitter, there's always some fun things involved. And you and Tom Arnold have gone back and forth on Twitter about some things, but you guys have created a relationship, and recently you guys met up in Des Moines.
Yeah. He had an event at the Funny Bone up in Des Moines.
Okay, and then so what?
I was so intrigued by that because I followed that little whatever when you guys first started.
Our Twitter spat.
Yeah, we call it a tweef. But so I mean, how did it go? I mean, go back to what happened. How did the meeting go?
Well, I mean, yeah. As far as Twitter goes, Tom and I, both Iowans, both care about this country. We both lean different directions politically. Obviously, he leans pretty hard left, and I am pretty far to the right. And as this thing built momentum, a lot of people commenting, they'd attack him, they'd attack me, depending on which way they leaned politically. Yeah. And one thing I noticed about the whole thing is that Tom and I, we would get after it a little bit. There was some teeth in our argument, but most of it was kind of jabbing each other and having fun with it, where the people who were following it were really getting emotionally invested in it.
Right.
Like Milicic, you need to knock him out, because it all started with Tom saying, hey, let's do a charity boxing match for a kid's charity. I'm like, yeah, I'm down with that. I'll carry you, for a while and have some fun with it. And then it spiraled into a much deeper political conversation. But anyway, I have a good friend who, Wayne Page out in California, who has put together some pretty big motion pictures and TV shows and helped build the Food Network, built Martha Stewart, and he's been a good friend of mine for a long time. And I said, we kind of started talking. He goes, there's something here. And I said, I know there is. If Tom and I could go to any type of event or location that would normally divide people politically, where they would end up trying to kill each other, I want Tom and I to do a road trip across America, Pat and Tom's America, and go to these different types of events, like a Trump rally, and him wearing a shirt that says "Got Tapes," like the "Got Milk" shirt.
Yeah.
But him wearing that because he was looking for the lost Trump tapes, all this on his show on Vice, I think it was. Going to a gay pride rally, where most people would think that I'm repulsed by people who are gay, which I'm not. I don't care what you do with your personal life. I'm a libertarian, whatever. But talk about health care in America and go to a VA hospital and look at veterans who are suffering and not being taken care of correctly. Do a lot of these different types of things and turn it into a comedy, and also have a little bit of conversation, about, politics in America and how the country's gotten out of control.
But I think what I'm seeing here, and maybe I'm interjecting a little bit, but you guys are trying to more unite everybody.
That's the idea, that people are going to be able to watch it, and they're still going to pick sides. That's fine.
Absolutely.
I don't care. But we want to be able to show that, we can have a good time together and show people that, look, we can disagree politically, but you don't have to, turn my car over and light my house on fire, because then you'll get shot. Let's wake up and let's be adults here.
Yeah.
And so, the people on the fringe, the hard left and hard right, are the ones getting all the media attention for a reason. The media is there to divide, period.
Well,
Plain
and they're
simple.
selling advertising.
Absolutely. Clickbait.
They're selling it. It's clickbait, whatever it is.
But there's also, let's be honest. Even people on the left, if you can't see that the media is highly biased and against, people that are conservative, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so
it's so apparent that it can't be any more apparent than what it is.
Right. I mean, it's
You're
proven
just lying
by
to yourself.
it's proven by Project Veritas, James O'Keefe, with undercover people at CNN exposing CNN's bias, and now.
But it goes to the point. I know we're getting a little political here, but they're talking about whistleblower rights, but they'll fire the whistleblower that tried to out the Epstein thing.
Right. Yeah,
Where's
it's
his
very
rights?
biased. Yeah.
Or I don't even know who the whistleblower
and for people and for people arguing that the whistleblower against Trump can't be exposed for being a hardcore liberal who's worked for other administrations, liberal administrations, and that this is an inside job, just read the Sixth Amendment. And the Sixth Amendment says, if I'm accused of something, I have the right to confront my accuser. So this is. We're teaching constitutional law here.
That's perfect. I love it.
But it's just common sense. But anyway, so we're going to have fun with it. To get back on track, we're going to have fun with it and do a lot of great things, hopefully, for America, and show people kind of the way you should conduct yourself and hold an adult conversation.
So I have to be nice to Tom. That's what you're telling me.
Well, he's a pretty big guy, man. I don't know. It'd be a good fight. You guys should get after it, maybe.
All right,
maybe you guys can fight on the undercard, because he does box, and he has expressed interest in fighting on the undercard of the Michael Nunn and Milicic fight. So it would be a charity fight. So you could fight Tom Arnold.
I'm in, dude.
Are you in?
Dude, I'm
Are you in?
Oh,
He's got a pretty wicked right hand. You sure you want to go to sleep in front of your kids and your wife?
Threatening us with an amazing time, by
dude. I'll open hand slap Tom Arnold. I'm good. I'm fine.
I think we just made the matchup, bro.
I got tons of Marine Corps training. I would take Tom out. Out.
This is awesome.
Why wouldn't you do it? Yeah.
Oh,
it's a
dude.
story.
Can we MMA it, or is it boxing?
It would be boxing.
All right.
It would be boxing.
All right.
So you're actually going to have to train.
Yeah.
You have to get ready for it. Probably no beer during the show. Probably want to start focusing a little bit here.
You talked about going to different rallies, and again, I listened to your interview with Dwyer Michaels. Talk about going to different rallies with Tom Arnold, and constitutional law or whatever else. We're still just talking. But he doesn't like Antifa. Tom Arnold.
Well, who would, Jay, in their right mind?
But they're talking about going there.
But
and
they're making
whatever,
everything that the Democrats tried to stand for and do look absolutely ridiculous. It'd be like me and Pat saying and Pat's libertarian, but I'm Republican, but whatever. Like us being more right leaning, agreeing with these dudes that are white supremacists. No,
Right.
they're embarrassing and they're their own group.
Yeah.
Don't associate those with us.
Right.
Yeah, these Antifa goons is what they are.
So that's the thing. Yeah, one of the episodes would be Tom and I going to an Antifa rally, and we're just going to wade through the crowd, and we're going to find the organizer, and we're going to make him sit down with us in a restaurant or whatever nearby, and we're going to say, "Look, dude, who's paying you? You know, who?
Right.
Exactly.
And
who's funding you? Because that's why this is happening. You know, for people out there, not to get too political again, but this is important that people understand. I don't care if you're just a sports fan. You should understand what makes people tick and why this stuff is happening that you're seeing on the news. Look, the same person that organized the white supremacists out in Charlottesville was the same guy that was the organizer for Occupy Wall Street, which was a leftist organization, which tells you he's paid most likely by an intelligence organization to go out and cause division amongst the citizens. So the Antifa people that are putting this stuff together, look, that doesn't just organically happen.
Yeah.
Somebody and a group of people potentially is being paid by whoever, whether it's a Soros-funded group or whether it's the intelligence groups or whatever. Somebody's funding these guys to put this stuff all together and get thousands of people together at one time and cause serious problems. So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to confront this person. And Antifa, look, when Antifa was founded, I mean, it's a communist group. So it's not even a democratic group. It's a communist group.
But it's just like what T-Roy said.
Well,
giving them that name, and that's why Tom
they're
doesn't
thugs or whatever you want to call them.
So Tom goes, look, I'll beat the hell out of Antifa. We'll go there and beat the hell out of them. And I go, no, we're just going to walk through the crowd and get to the. We're just going to ask everybody who organized this. We just want to talk to the organizer. That's all we want to do. The cameras will be around us. I'll probably bring some pretty scary guys with me just in case stuff kicks off.
Can I go?
So we can wreck shop if we have to.
I'll dress scary.
We'll do it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm in, dude.
Yeah, and we're just gonna. I'm not gonna wear I don't own a Make America Great Again hat or MAGA or any of that stuff.
No.
I don't own any of that. But so we're just gonna walk in dressed like we are, and just go, look, man, I don't want any trouble. I just want to talk to the organizers. That's it. And if they decide to start punching us, then we'll punch back. It'll make for great TV either way.
Great TV.
I do, Pat. I'm not joking. I'm in.
I'm looking to pad my KO record anyway.
I am one. Yeah, me too. I'm 100% in, and then that way, me and Tom can be friends before I knock him out.
There you go. I like it. I like it.
So you've got the clothing line going on, this thing working with Tom Arnold, getting the pay-per-view stuff up and going. Like, when do you rest?
Yeah, exactly.
I actually try to decompress for about 45 minutes to an hour a day, which I know my wife doesn't like that. She's go. That's, You know how women are. They just keep going. But I actually have to decompress for about 45 minutes to an hour sometimes just to let my brain, I'll fall asleep, cat nap, whatever, but my brain resets that way. It totally resets me.
You're still running like half marathons and stuff like that too, aren't you?
Not right now. No, I'm doing a circuit lift run workout to get my whole body in shape for about a 6-week program with a buddy of mine. And then, on the days in between, I'm either doing cardio or like specific body parts where I'm trying to fix stuff and get stuff stronger. And then I'll ramp it up from there after 6 weeks and start doing more mileage and more intense workouts. But right now, it's just kind of tightening everything back up and getting into, because I'm not ready to get punched and kicked right now. Let's put it that way.
You know what? And I know I follow you, and so I know a lot about what goes on with you. But, everybody knows you're a great athlete, but your children have gone on to do some great things. So talk about your kids.
Well, my oldest daughter just got a scholarship for rowing and academics to Jacksonville University. She picked up rowing. She decided she had swam since 5 years old competitively. Swam for Lane 4 Aquatics and for Bettendorf High School. She was varsity, I think, 2 or 3 years in a row, freshman, sophomore, and maybe junior. She started rowing in her junior year and picked it up and has gotten good really fast. So got a scholarship, which I'm pumped about. She did it all on her own.
But here in the
Saves
Quad
you money,
Cities,
right, Dad?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, there are
a lot of like rowers that come from the Quad Cities here that go on, like you said, Jacksonville,
Look,
but
man,
like
I didn't
Stanford
even-
and everything else. Like it's crazy.
Look, I didn't even realize that the Quad Cities had a legit rowing club. I had seen people out rowing, and I thought, well, it's just a bunch of friends that get together, have a boat, and row down the river, right?
No, they row up the river because it's harder.
Right, well,
right?
and they row out there in the backwaters behind the Arsenal and all that.
Yeah,
but that the Quad City Rowing Club is actually top 2 or 3 in the world in rowing. I mean, they've got the number 2 girl in the world on their team right now.
I hate the rowing machine.
You know, so
it kicks my butt.
It's amazing. They'll go to London and destroy everyone. They'll go to Tokyo and destroy everyone. They were just at the head of the hooch down in Tennessee, which is all the teams from all over the world. There was like 74
so
boats.
they're at the head of the Chattahoochee River, and that's where they were doing the rowing? Is that where it's at? Yeah?
I wasn't there. My wife
Okay.
went to that one. But just to give you an idea, I mean, the doubles boats that the division my daughter was in with her rowing partner from the Quad City Rowing Club, there were 75 other boats or whatever in that race. They do them in heats, of course. But so, my daughter and her rowing partner placed in the top 10. I think they were 6th or 7th out of the best, kids that were there. So it's, they're doing really good. And then my 15-year-old's a real good swimmer. My 6-year-old's a tennis player. She does really well. She grunts when she hits the ball.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nobody told her to do that. My partner in my law enforcement military training company, Don Roberts, he was a top professional on the world tour. He played against Agassi, Bjorn Borg, all those guys when he was really young and was coming up through the ranks and got hit by a drunk driver head on and ended his career. But he's an incredible law enforcement military instructor. You should see him teach people how to shoot. It's incredible. He had my wife shooting. She never shot a gun before. He spent 4 hours with her. We were down on their farm down in southern Illinois. And in 4 hours, my wife was shooting, walking through the woods, shooting targets, hitting targets, doing really. Yeah. So he teach really well. And to watch him work with my 6-year-old, she's smoking the ball over the net. It's awesome.
I know you've mentioned this guy before. I feel like I keep talking about. For some reason I always hear you on Dwyer Michaels. Didn't this guy work one of Dwyer Michaels in tennis? Didn't he work him or whatever? Didn't they end up playing like a seniors?
Well, it was there was a tournament, and Don got into the tournament.
Yeah.
Don, of course, won the tournament. Dwyer.
I remember you telling
Dwyer was in the tournament. Yeah. He goes, dude, this is ridiculous. And I think Don just, but our sound engineer for Access TV, his name's Mark. He's paralyzed now. He had an accident, but he was 27 years old at the time and was a All-American from Tulane University, right? 27-year-old, tall, long, fast, good athlete. And Don said, I'll come along for a trip when you do a broadcast and we'll play each other. Well, Don, dude, against an All-American who's 27 years old, it was still really not even close.
Wow.
Don's that good of a tennis player. He really is. So, it's impressive to watch.
Is your daughter still swimming for Bettendorf right now?
My 15-year-old swims for Lane 4 Aquatics,
okay,
the team.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so she decided to go that route. Felt that it was a better fit to just stay club.
Yeah.
Because for swimmers, it's not like you have to play high school football to get a college degree.
Yeah.
You can. All the coaches in college care about is your times. So as long as she's going to meets and all that sort of stuff, she just felt that was the better fit for her.
Wow.
Great.
No, that's amazing.
And still, that Bettendorf has a solid swim team
Very
across
good,
the board,
yeah.
male and female.
Yep. Coach Aarons does a great job over there.
Right? Yeah, they have state this weekend. That swimming team.
Absolutely.
I'm waiting on someone to send me the link.
What link are you looking for?
Bettendorf Cedar Falls tonight is actually going to be on YouTube.
Is it going to be on YouTube?
Yes.
Awesome.
Really?
So I'm waiting on the link. My family, my kids were going to go. My wife's out of town. But my daughter was lukewarm about it, and she was the one that was are we going to, she says, are we going to UNI this year? She's getting spoiled. She thinks that Bettendorf goes to the semifinals every year.
Right.
Type of thing. So, and I said we were going to go, and I was like, well, we can do these other things, though, and it's not, I don't want to downplay the quarterfinals because I'm not. But the semifinals and the finals, when you have that many more people there, it's a big deal. Because you guys, we went there last year.
That's fair weather fan stuff. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm actually riding my bike up.
Yeah, sure.
My truck's in the shop, but I'm willing to ride my bike
and
up.
she was like, all right. And I said, listen, and we can't next week. But I was like, we'll go up, and hopefully they'll make the state championship. But so I'm reaching out to my buddy in Cedar Falls. Matt Shelton, who's a friend of the show. He watches, and he's actually a coach on Cedar Falls. And I'm waiting for a link.
He gives us all the inside tips on what CF's doing, and then we pass them on to Gersh and some of the other coaches.
We do not.
Oh, no.
Hey, man, listen. So Bettendorf has lost to Cedar Falls 2 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So there has to be some payback at some point, right?
Yep.
So I took my daughters. We're selling our house right now. We're looking for a house that we're downsizing a little bit because one of my daughters is leaving for college coming up pretty soon. And then my second oldest will be leaving in a couple of years. So we're thinking ahead, trying to find something with outbuildings on the property so I can turn it into a studio and a gym and do my shows from home, all that sort of stuff. A lot of stuff that I'm trying to get done entails not having to jump on flights all the time, you know what I mean? So that's part of it, but I was going somewhere with this.
About Bettendorf getting back at CF.
Oh, yeah, but, we would be going up to the game, actually, if I didn't have showings tomorrow morning at my house.
Gotcha.
So, I'll be my wife will be in Iowa City with my 15-year-old for the swim meet, and my oldest daughter and I and my youngest daughter will be taking care of the house and getting it ready for showings, throwing the dogs in the truck and going somewhere for an hour at a time, all that. But
All right. Well, Pat, thank you so much for your time. We got to wrap
thanks
it
a
up.
lot,
It went a little bit
Are we
smoother
at
than
the end of the
beginning.
day?
Yeah, this is it.
good luck to the
my
Bulldogs.
God.
Yeah, good luck to the Bulldogs. Good luck to North Scott Lancers against Western Dubuque. Pat, thank you so much. We'll be in touch with you. Obviously, we'd love to have you and Michael Nunn on when we get closer. We got to line up T-Roy to fight Tom Arnold. You guys have a hassle-free weekend. We will see you soon. Quad Cities, enjoy yourselves.
All right. Bye, guys.